Welcome to ceomindset. I'm Rabin Anand and this is Sundar Kumaravel, Director of FE Fund Info India. FE Fund Info is a leading investment management technology and data company connecting asset managers to distributors in the UK, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Mr. Sundar heads the India business operations and has been associated with FE Fund Infotech for about 15 years. Can you provide me with a brief introduction of yourself and your organization?
Sure. So first, thanks for having me in your YouTube channel and show. I'm happy that you're doing this kind of connects with CEOs, and happy to be part of this program. And I'm happy to share whatever I could to help youngsters like yourself inspire in whatever way, by sharing my own experiences. So I've been with FE Fund Info for about 15 years now. And I've had a very fantastic journey with this business. I've joined as a deputy head of product development team. There were a small group of software developers providing a specific set of products for our asset management and advisory clients in Europe and UK. Now, from there on, I've taken on different roles. So I've been a active member of providing insights to my own consult to the wider business of the India office, right from HR, operations, finance, tech, and so on. And gradually took more responsibilities in running the India business.
Okay.
And over a period of time, I became one of the directors of the business as well. At some point, I was also heading the global technology or global infrastructure division of the technology side of the business, and I have had the opportunity to manage people across different locations as well. And the business was growing, the India office was growing, which meant I was having dual accountability of running my own technology function, at the same time managing the India business operations as well. So then I moved my focus totally to India. So now I'm a whole-time India director and focusing only on the India side of the business. But I also collaborate across our different leadership teams across other locations. So we are present in Europe and Asia Pacific and UK. Our head office is in the UK, in London. And so it's been an amazing journey.
What inspired you to pursue a career in this field?
So it's funny, actually, my primary focus when you talk about field, you can say it's always been on the technology area, right? I've been associated with, my early career was in tech education.
Okay.
Starting from Tata Infotech.
Okay.
I was associated with an education institution and helped them set up the education business in a small town from my hometown in Salem. And then moved to Chennai, and I was again associated with education, computer education, tech education for children actually. And then I was working with tech companies, but most of my career has been always on the business side and not on the technology side. So I was more a technology enabler and a promoter.
Yeah.
That's kind of been my career. So I would say technology is the inspiration, and how we provide solutions to solve problems or to help clients to become more efficient or derive value. That has been my biggest inspiration, problem solving using technology.
Right. What does innovation mean to you?
So innovation is a very broad term. I mean, it's very widely used in all kinds of contexts, but fundamentally we solve a problem, right? So
in terms of technology and business, since you are well versed at it.
So I think innovation is more like having the right attitude to solve problems. And you can constantly innovate on simple things, on your day-to-day things, or even complex problems like big industry problems to country problems to whatnot, right? But the intention has to be there, and you need to be creative, and also do the right thing. Balancing all this is pretty tricky. We cannot do damages to things or people or country or society in the name of innovation, right? But you need to have a balancing act. I think great innovators understand that, and successful innovators kind of also bring value to people, to society. And for me personally, I think enabling people to be creative and providing people, the people that I work with, to solve problems with confidence. I think that is more of what I see innovation for me.
Okay. What are some key areas that you focus on while making decisions?
So, well, decision making is part of every leader's job, and you end up taking decisions almost every day, and of course some are difficult decisions, challenging decisions, strategic decisions. And for me, it's very important for any leader to be aware that the leader's decision is going to impact a lot of people, right? So some decisions has impact on the business and automatically on the people behind the business, and also how that impacts clients and so on, right? So it's very important that we take decisions, quick decisions, well thought decisions, but at the same time, it's very important to keep in mind that you have a view of the consequences and also be fair. Many decisions are taken to create value for the business, but we should also have a view that, am I being fair to people behind it, right? So I think it is very important to have a balanced approach to taking such decisions. And also some decisions you cannot say that decision will not affect people.
Yes.
It will affect people as well. And that's why I say it's important to be fair. And if some decisions are affecting some people, then we need to make sure that they are taken care of, right? They are engaged. We help people understand why certain decisions are taken. So we need to have that conversation. Sometimes these are very difficult conversations.
Yeah.
But as leaders, they still need to connect and engage and help people understand. They need to do their part in the whole process.
Yeah. It's certain that there would have been challenges and setbacks in your journey. Please share your mantra on succeeding such challenges.
Yes, there are quite often you come across very difficult situations, right?
Yes.
And as I was saying before, my focus is always in the fairness part. And even if it's a difficult decision and if it's going to impact some people, I believe people accept it or less impact to them personally if you have been fair to them, right? Even in this difficult situations.
Right.
And challenges is a way of life as you grow into as you go in the hierarchy and go into a top position, right? And it is also very important that you understand as a leader that you are pretty much alone.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure most leaders will agree that it's lonely on the top.
Some decisions won't be agreed with by everyone.
And you have to take that ownership.
Yeah.
And take that accountability as well, right? And make sure that you follow through and make sure those decisions are clear, communicated, and you provide clarity on those decisions as well.
Who is an ideal leader, or what trait should a leader possess?
So I don't think there is anything called ideal leader from my point of view. I mean, there are different types of leaders, and I think every leader is and every leader following their own style is valid given a certain situation, right? In certain environments or situations, you need a certain type of leader who is more authoritarian, right? In certain other circumstances or situations or environment, you need a more collaborative leader. Or you might have come across this servant leader approach. That's a very popular way of leadership as well, and that works for most of the tech companies and product companies and so on. So there are different leadership styles, and each have its own merits and demerits. And also, it's important to understand what, rather than a leadership mantra or a style, I would say what you are true to yourself, right? So I need to be true to myself in the way who I am or what I am, given my personality, my belief systems and so on. I do not want to imitate another leader and say, okay, that person is a very strong person or has a different style, and I want to I want to be like that and kind of replicate that or mimic that. That's not going to work. And I'm not being honest and true to myself. So I think every leader should be honest and true to themselves and follow what they believe in, and make sure that they apply their foundational principles in their leadership style.
What do you consider your biggest success as a leader of the company?
I think my biggest success would be in the kind of culture that we were able to develop or build, and that's not just me responsible for that. I know I've had a significant influence on the team. I have a very good leadership team who are part of this organization in India especially, and I'm very proud of the culture that we have built for this organization. It's a very open culture. We challenge each other, and there are also we value equality and equity. So we have 70% of our leadership team are women members. So and I think that culture of being open, being honest, and be ready to be challenged as well, take feedback with an open mind. I think that's something which I think I'm very proud of in the way we built this organization.
To what extent do you agree with the social media perspective of being in a senior management role? Now, obviously, social media comes with two perspectives. That's the one negative perspective, which says that leaders are just bossy people with heavy attitudes. They just delegate the tasks, but they get the rewards. And then there's the other side that says leaders do deserve it. So, where does your stance lie in this?
Yeah, that's a very good and a very complex question. I think social media perspective is always, driven by where there is noise sometimes, right? And but of course, every individual has their own right to have their view, and I believe there is a lot of noise in social media. As you said, there's on the negative side about leadership styles and so on, but there is not enough to talk about the other side, other aspects of leadership. I think it's also very important for people to use their own judgment to understand what leadership styles are and so on. Whoever is in a leadership position, it did not happen overnight, right? It took a lot of effort, and they grew into the certain position. It's not easy for them to be, as it's perceived or how people see leadership as, and they think it's easy, somebody sitting there taking some decisions
Yes.
and or not doing anything else and so
Right.
on. But the burden of being a lead in a leadership position is something which they don't see. How much they hold accountable, what are they accountable for, what are they responsible for, and how much they shoulder as a leader is something which is almost invisible and they don't get to see it. And I also think it comes along with maturity of people.
Right.
There will always be an element of, people just making fun about it or being negative about
Yes.
things. But I believe when they get to a certain position or as they become more mature in the business process or in a leadership position, in that process, I think they would tend to shift their opinion or their view. That's what I think.
Alright. Thank you for your time, Mr. Sundar. The interview was very informative and inspiring.
Thank you for having me. I hope this was useful to you and also your audience.